There's no documentaries on me. Welcome to PTI. Tony couldn't make it all the way down to his basement today, so I am joined by our great friend, Mr. Frank Isola.
Yeah. Louder in person, right?
Yeah.
Much
People
louder.
have energy when they come back from vacay. Let's start with the ligament tear that's going to prevent Shohei Ohtani from pitching the rest of this season.
Maybe that whole $500 million, maybe he's not going to go
Slowly
there.
roll a
But
little
could be in that $300 to $400 million still, because he's a great draw. He's such a unique player. I just wonder if the days of him being a full-time starting pitcher might be over. Because if he has the second surgery, and right now we know that he's going to keep playing, which is great, and that's what he, the fact that he can pitch and hit, it makes him so unique. I just don't think he can do that. And I think teams are going to be worried. If you're going to invest that much money in him, and you look at the history, it's one thing to come back from one Tommy John surgery. If he has that second one, the odds are not great. So I think that could impact the money. I still think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to go after him, but he can still be a great player. Think about this. Last two seasons, Mike, 40 home runs, 150 strikeouts that he's gotten. Oh, no one in baseball history has done that once.
No.
He's done it twice. I just think that those days, it's probably catching up to him, and those days might be over.
There's a reason why nobody had ever done it. Because the human body has limits.
Yeah.
Even for great, freakish athletes, and Ohtani is one of them. To do it this long is amazing, right? Jaw-dropping. Yep. That's why the fascination. But Frank, the whole time I've been not skeptical of him, but skeptical of how long this could go on. We're talking in Chicago about whether the Cubs, who can afford whatever, should spend $600 million on Ohtani. And I was saying no. No, because you don't know how long this can last. You get these injuries, the second Tommy John surgery. As a hitter, he is damn valuable.
Yep.
But you know what this reminds me of? And this is sad. It reminds me of Bo Jackson. I was at the game when Bo Jackson got hurt in Los Angeles in like 1991. Come on, Bo Jackson was doing two more dramatically different things than this.
Yep.
Because they're two different sports. To be all-pro level, all-star level in baseball and in football was an amazing thing. And you can't do it long because the human body has its limits. And it's not to suggest anything frail about Bo Jackson or Ohtani, other than there's a reason it's never, ever been done, not for long. And so maybe he can come back as a closer. I hear that speculation. I feel sad, but he's a great player. He's still going to get paid a lot of money.
Now, he has a lot of pride. He's a gamer. What if he tells, now he's not going to, it doesn't look like he's going to pitch next year, but what if he were to tell teams, if you're going to sign me, I want to pitch and I want to hit and I want to be a starter. And that could scare off some teams. Yeah. But you said closer. Now think about this. The World Baseball Classic, he closed out that game against the U.S. In fact, he struck out his teammate Trout to win it. What if you did it that way, where maybe he's sometimes a setup guy, sometimes he's closing?
You still want to ask me if he can be Dennis
I'm not asking him to pitch,
and
I'm not asking him to throw 100 pitches.
No, I get it, Frank. There's a reason it's never been done. Even closing, and I hear you, because people want to see this kind of athlete who's got this kind of charisma. You want to see him be all he can be, and we all want to live in the moment and say, this has never been done before. Look. Never been done before.
But maybe part-time. He's still his ERA is best in the league right now.
If he can hit 50 home runs, I'll take him being a full-time hitter. I'll forget about the rest.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yeah. All right, let's move to Yankees general manager Brian Cashman calling his team season, quote, a disaster.
First of all, how many people out there are going to be better or as good, anywhere near as good as Brian Cashman or Kenny Williams?
Yeah.
Who was with the White Sox for 30 years, a dear friend who led them to a World Series when they were as drought-stricken as the Red Sox and Cubs in 2005. Kenny Williams put that team together. They became the president, so he wasn't the daily GM, even though they fired him. And Reinsdorf said he's like a son, so let's go to Cashman. 2009 is a long, unacceptable drought. The drought wasn't unacceptable for the White Sox. It's unacceptable, is it not, to the Yankees? Yep. Do you think, living in New York and following this stuff every day, that the Yankees will fire Brian Cashman?
Well, a Steinbrenner is still in charge.
But not that Steinbrenner.
Exactly. And the family is close to Brian Cashman. So the Yankees have made the playoffs. And I understand expanded is a little bit different. But they've still made the playoffs 21 out of the first 25 years that Brian Cashman's been the GM. So I get it, and I understand you can't go on Twitter because the fans on Twitter want him out yesterday. And the fans in the Bronx are also upset. But I think when push comes to shove, maybe Aaron Boone could be in trouble. I think that Brian Cashman, I don't think the Steinbrenner family is going to get rid of him just yet. I think they're going to chalk it up to, all right, you look at, Josh Donaldson has been a disaster. Giancarlo Stanton hasn't been good. DJ LeMahieu, they signed him. That hasn't worked out. But I think they're going to chalk it up to injuries this year, the fact that Aaron Judge missed a lot of time.
And it's 1 year.
And
last year.
Exactly. They made it to the ALCS.
Yes. And by the way, and Houston's been a better team, and they can't stand that. They can't stand in New York that some team from Texas, somewhere out there, down there, is better than the team in the Bronx. But let's go to this other. There's a stat out there that, like, in 4,000 games, the Yankees have been out of contention for like 20 of them. And they're always in contention. So you want to fire that guy on the chance you can find somebody who's as good? Oh, not as good because you want him gone. Better? This is short-sighted. Any owner who listens to anything or pays anything, any attention to anything on Twitter, he should be run out of office. Now, he should be replaced in his corner office.
And I don't think the Yankees operate like that. Now, the Yankees had lost 9 in a row. If they had lost yesterday or last night, that would have been a 10-game losing streak. They hadn't done that since 1913. That's before even Babe Ruth. But my thing about the Yankees is the philosophy that they have. It's all, feast or famine. Everyone is trying to hit a home run. During the 9-game losing streak, they batted a 171, and they scored about 26 runs.
It's going the other way. And so the Yankees got to go the other way quickly. But they do adapt, Frank.
But they're also, and I know you're going to love this, they're big on analytics. They have a big analytics department. And I get it. Last year they made it to the ALCS. But this whole thing is just trying to hit home runs all the time, and all they do is strike out.
Something sort of, for some of us, Yankee misery is such a cool.
I know you like that.
It's so great.
But they've won a lot.
That's all they do.
21 of the last 25
That's all they do is win. Stop.
That still counts.
Fire. Go ahead. Fire. And now to Lionel Messi, who led Inter Miami to yet another win last night.
This is a guy that was great in the World Cup in November and December, leading Argentina to the victory. What has stood out, and he scored in every game until this last one. He had the 2 great assists. The tying one came in the 98th minute, 8th minute of stoppage of injury time. What has impressed me the most is that this guy has accomplished everything. He's won Champions League and won 1 million titles at Barcelona. He's won the Ballon d'Or, which is given out to the best player in the world 7 times.
He's going to get the next one?
Award
in November?
He
won
should.
the World Cup.
Absolutely. I'm blown away by how engaged he is. You see him after they won that Leagues Cup. Anytime they won a match, he was so excited. He seems like he's helping out his younger teammates. It's not this, I'm Lionel Messi, you guys are all beneath me. It's not that at all. He is into it, which makes it so refreshing to watch that a guy that's accomplished that much and comes over to the MLS. And here's the thing, too. Saturday is his actually first MLS game. All he's done is play tournament games up to this point, and they got a big mountain to climb because right now they're in last place in the Eastern Conference. They do have 12 matches left, but they got a long way to go.
Here's the difference, it seems to me, between Messi and all the other great, all-time great stars who came over to NASL or MLS, starting with Pelé.
That's right.
They didn't seem to have nearly as much left as Messi does. They got here, and whether it was not being engaged, they looked around and said, are you kidding me? I'm going to start playing with these dudes? Maybe. I mean, I was here in Washington when Johan Cruyff got here. There were moments like this that Messi's produced, not nearly as many. There were moments where Johan Cruyff was, oh, my God, I don't know, most surveys I see have him in the top 10, maybe top 5 players all time. There were moments like that for Cruyff, not as many as Messi has produced in Miami.
He's been great. 2 things. Number one, much like when LeBron went to Miami, he made sure that Dwayne Wade resigned, then he brought Chris Bosh. Messi went to Miami, he brought Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba, 2 Spanish players from Barcelona. So he has a good support team there. The other thing is, this is actually a little bit more important. I bought at face value 4 tickets for Saturday at Red Bull Arena. There's already some talk because he's played so much that he might rest. We cannot have him rest. You know what? Say that you'll show up at the game.
They're doing that just for you as an NBA guy.
Is he going to come to New York one visit and not play? He's got to play, right?
Is he going to drink wine on the bench? You think?
Nah.
Huh?
He could even play the last 30 minutes.
He
just cannot rest that game.
If he rests, I'm going to call you. I'll be calling you every
Bought 4
second.
tickets already.
I
won't sell them, and they're going for a lot of money.
I streamed last night, and they got it on Telemundo.
It was good.
A little slow for me.
Andres Cantor.
Broncos top receiver Jerry Jeudy, and we're at the big finish now, was carted off the practice field with a hammy injury. That's a big deal, right, Frank?
Of course it's a big deal. And Sean Payton's done a lot of talking during the offseason. He's going to need
They need him, yeah.
Andy Reid says there's been no communication with defensive tackle Chris Jones. Is that a cause for concern?
Chris Jones is Kansas City's best defensive player. Says he might come in week 8. They're going to be in trouble if he does that. The Colts have given running back Jonathan Taylor until Tuesday to find a suitable trade. You like his chances?
I know you've been following this all offseason.
I have.
This is a big.
Actually,
I led the league in rushing.
Yeah.
But I got to get at least.
Coach, he's familiar with his.
Maple Leaf star Austin Matthews agreed to a 4-year extension that will make him the NHL's highest-paid player. Are you impressed?
That's what Dame Lillard calls like a paycheck by Halloween. $13.25 million per season, passing McKinnon of the Avalanche. Last one, preseason football tonight. Steelers, Falcons, Colts, Eagles. Are you watching any of this junk?
It's appointment television for Michael Wilbon.
For people watching third and fourth stringers.
By the way,
they ain't playing backups
season ticket holders.
Gotta pay.
You gotta pay.
You're not even getting second stringers for more than a series.
Jalen Hurts is not starting. Marcus Mariota's starting. He's only going to play one series.
Class action suit for fraud.
Roger Goodell on line 1. Right at time. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Isola.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. You can get the PTI podcast on the ESPN app or Apple Podcasts. It's fraud.
Big preseason weekend.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.